Just now, I was thinking about the time when I almost gave up on trading entirely. The losses felt overwhelming, the stress, the sleepless nights, it all felt like too much, and I legit didn't think I could push through. But looking back now, I am so glad that I didn't quit. Because quite frankly, if I would have, I wouldn't be here now. I wouldn't be able to live the life that I currently live. I wouldn't be able to drive the car that I currently drive, to visit the beautiful places that I was able to visit because of trading. And ultimately, I wouldn't be able to live life on my own terms. Hence why I decided to make this video, to take you guys along for a drive as I will reflect on my journey, my biggest struggles, the biggest lessons, how I was able to overcome the hardest moments, and also everything that this year, 2024, has taught me, the highs and the lows, and why it was my best year so far. I'll also share some very valuable insights that I wish I would have known when I started this journey back in 2019, and also my goals for 2025. Whether you're just starting out or you're already in your journey towards profitability or you feel stuck, this video is for you. I know this will sound funny, but I started trading because of a suggested video on YouTube. Let me explain. 2019, I received $100 from my aunt as a gift, and at that time I didn't know what to do with the money. I didn't want to buy anything new, and I decided to just invest that money in some stocks because I was seeing those ads with investing in stocks and whatnot, and I thought, why not open an account and invest this $100 and forget about it. Second part of 2020, after finishing my final exams in high school, that's when I remembered about this amount that I've invested. I've checked it and I was up $500. And that for me was a aha moment. I understood that money can be made online as well. And that's when I started to dig deeper. But little did I know that I was lucky to buy when the COVID dip happened. And then after I started researching, a suggested video popped on my feed on YouTube. It was, I think it was a flipping video, flipping $100 to $2,000 with Forex trading. And of course that caught my attention because I wanted to start trading to be able to make some quick money and buy a car, because my parents weren't able to buy me a car, and that was my main motivation. So the next step for me was to get into trading, and that's where literally all started. But unfortunately, I started with the left foot because I was so impatient and I wanted to make money fast. Instead of opening a demo account and sticking to it for a couple of months, what I did is I jumped on a live account directly. I signed up with a broker, I deposited some money on it, and I started trading a live personal account, which was a huge mistake. Bear in mind, I was like 1 or 2 weeks into trading. I've just learned the basics. I only knew how to use TradingView for like 1 week. I knew basic stuff like how to draw a support and resistance. I knew nothing about risk management. And I decided to trade a live account. That was a huge mistake because I wasn't prepared. So that was my first mistake. I should have opened a demo instead and stick to a demo for at least a couple months. And the second mistake was trading my own personal funds. At that time, like I said, I had around 3,000 euros saved up. That was my whole money, which was a lot of money for me. And even with my current financial situation, if I would have to start trading all over again, I wouldn't trade my personal funds. Why? Because it's stressful. Instead, I would choose the prop firm route every single day of the week. Why? Because if you choose the prop firm route, the worst thing that can happen is you can blow the account and you will lose the fee that you paid for the challenge. And for me, that is not a big deal. And in terms of what prop firm I would go for, it would definitely be the prop firm that I currently work with, Sabio Trade. Why? Because they have one of the cheapest challenge prices in this industry. They have a one-step challenge, and that means that I can get funded faster if I trade profitably. They have 80% up to 90% profit split, which I find really cool. And they also have instant withdrawals, and this is key for me because especially if I'm starting, if I get funded, I want to be able to pull out profits as soon as possible. And with them you can, because if you pass the account and on the funded you have a profitable first trade, you can literally request a withdrawal right there, and in the upcoming days you will also receive it. And I find this very cool because there is no minimum trading days. And on that note, if you guys want to sign up with them as well, click the link down below in my video description and make sure you apply the code SMCDAN for a discount. And after blowing those first couple accounts, those first small accounts, I think $50 and $100 accounts, I then decided to invest into knowledge, and that was a good thing. But I did this wrong as well. Why? Because I didn't buy only one course and basically work with one mentor, sticking to it for a couple months to see if that strategy works. I instead went for multiple courses, and that's why there was a huge mistake, because in my mind I was like, I will basically take all of these teachings from all of these mentors and I will combine them, and I will have this holy grail strategy that will provide me a 100% win rate. And you can guess how that went. Instead, what I should have done is I should have picked only one mentor, okay? Basically someone that has already did it. This is a very important criteria, because if you want to learn how to become profitable and live from trading, you need to learn it from someone that has already done it, okay? So I would search for that, and then my second criteria would be I would like to work and learn from someone that I resonate with. So I would search for that, I would find this mentor, and then I would stick with him for at least a couple months, okay? To learn his strategy, to backtest it, to see if it suits my style, my personality, to see if I can understand it, okay? And only then, if for some reason it doesn't work, that's when I would look for a different mentor. And I was in this vicious circle where I would constantly try to flip accounts. I remember there were times where I was literally placing trades on gold without a stop loss, and those trades were running overnight, and I was literally waking up in the middle of the night to check the position. And if the position was running in drawdown, I legit wasn't able to sleep. And that was literally the start of my downfall, because yes, I'm laughing now if I'm thinking of the start of my journey, but it wasn't funny at all, because it was so extremely stressful for me. In the first 3 months, like I told you guys, I had 3,000 euros saved up. In those first 3 months, I blew all of my savings. I blew 3,000 euros just like that. And that was big money for me. And like I said, I wasn't sleeping well. I was anxious. It became like an addiction. Whenever I was touching money, I was going straight to the bank, depositing in a broker account, and then trying to flip it. It was literally like a gambling addiction. It wasn't funny at all. And it had such a big toll on me, because you can imagine, sleepless nights, right? Because I wasn't able to sleep right. Stress, a lot of stress. Always, I was constantly thinking only about how trading is going, only if the trade is running in profit or in drawdown, and most of the times it was in drawdown. All that money that I spent on courses without being able to stick to one strategy, basically that money was all spent in vain. This all led to me burning out. I remember when I noticed that I literally blew all of my savings within the first 3 months, I remember I started to panic a lot. I had a small panic attack. I started crying. I was driving in my dad's car. That was when I blew my last small account in the beginnings. It was in my dad's car. I checked my MetaTrader. I saw that the trade was stopped out because of the margin, and I literally stopped the car in a parking lot and I started crying, because I realized that in 3 months I blew all of my savings, which at that time was a big amount for me. And I'm being totally honest, I'm glad that I only had 3,000 euros, because if I had more, I would have probably blew it all before realizing that what I do is wrong. And right then and there, after those sleepless nights, stress, blown accounts, blown money, I had a breakdown. Like I said, I had a panic attack. I started crying, and I said to myself, I will stop this right now. This will not work. I cannot move forward by doing this. This is just toxic for me, and it's starting to get dangerous. So I stopped trading for 2 full weeks, I think. And in that time, I realized some of the mistakes I did. But then after that second week, I felt something inside that didn't let me to quit. There were 2 things. Number one, I was still having those people on social media, those traders that I was following, and I was seeing that they are successful, and that motivated me and told me, hey man, look, if they are able to do it, so are you. That, as well as remembering my why. I remembered my why. Why did I got into trading? Well, I got into trading because I saw that money can be made online as well, that I wanted to be able to live life on my own terms and to be able to buy a car. That was my why at that time. And I remembered it, combined with the fact that I saw other people winning as well. This motivated me to get back on track, to try again, but this time I was a lot more conservative because I had no more money, right? So I was forced to start trading a demo account. I started trading a demo account. I started using proper risk management. I've learned about proper risk management. I also started to stick to only one mentor, the one that I liked most. I've learned his system, right? And then of course in time I developed my own system as well based on my learnings, and I started seeing progress. I finally started seeing progress. I was being able to grow the demo account consistently. And then a couple months later, after I was able to save up, I think it was around $1,000, I decided that it's time for me to get a prop firm challenge. I was able to get a prop firm challenge. Soon afterwards, I was able to qualify for my first payout. And that right there was the moment when I realized that I finally became a profitable trader. And from there, I was able to scale up, because like I said, this is the beauty about trading. In trading, you can scale up after you have a profitable system. a good risk management plan, a good trading plan, you can literally scale up and sky is the limit. From there, I was able to scale up in around 6 months. I was able to buy my first car, which was a BMW 4 Series. It was a coupe, such a beautiful car. I still remember the moment when I bought it. It was probably one of the best moments of my life. Being at the steering wheel of that car, it felt unreal. That's when I also started my trading community, where I help others in their journey towards profitability. I send trades, we trade together, and I was able to meet so many people and create so many bonds, and I'm super thankful for that as well. And ever since, it was a uptrend, if I'm being totally honest. It was a uptrend in terms of investments, in terms of how trading went, in terms of my goals, in terms of beautiful places that I was able to visit because of trading, in terms of freedom. Everything was in a uptrend. That's why I'm so thankful about it. And this brings me to this year of 2024. It was a great year. It was the best year of my life, and I will definitely remember it. Why was it the best year in my life? Well, because I saw progress in every single aspect. And for me, that's what's most important, to see progress. I saw progress in my trading. I saw progress in my community. More and more people are joining. They start learning. Some also go for the mentoring program and they become profitable. And it's so beautiful to see others win as well, to basically win together. It's such a great feeling to have more and more people, to have more and more beautiful feedbacks from people that were able to achieve their dreams, pay for the rent with their trading profits, go on a vacay with the trading profits, buy a car with the trading profits. That right there is so beautiful, and I'm so thankful for it, that I was able in this year of 2024 to have more and more people winning. Because being honest, winning together is a lot better than winning alone. This, as well as traveling, I was able to travel in so many different places this year. I was in Dubai, I was in Greece 2 times, I was in Germany, I was in Italy. It was such a beautiful year. I was in Spain. I was able to visit so many different beautiful places this year. Once again, all because of trading. I was also able to buy this new car, this AMG, which was also a dream come true. Because if someone would have told me 5 years ago, when I just got into trading, that in 5 years I would drive this car and I would visit the places that I visited this year, and I would live the life that I currently live, I would tell him that he's delusional, if I'm being totally honest. So that's what I mean, that with trading, everything is scalable and sky is literally the limit. And in terms of bad things, I wouldn't say I had any bad thing going on this year, which I'm very thankful for, but definitely I had some lessons. One lesson that I have is that in 2025, I am planning to capitalize on the high probability trades, on the A+ setups, because I see so many great traders do this, and this is something that I haven't implemented yet because I still feel some fear, basically risking more on a setup that I know is a A+ setup, right? Basically what I mean by this, say, on a normal setup, I would risk 1%, and then when I see a A+ setup, on that setup, I could risk 1.5% because I know it has a high probability of winning. This is something that I want to work on, and this is definitely a lesson that this year has taught me, because like this, I can capitalize on the winners so much more. And it is very important because, for example, let's say I lose a trade, a normal trade, I lose 1%, but then if a high probability trade occurs and I risk 1.5% on it and it wins, I will win 3%. And now you can see I will be up 2% instead of only being up 1% if I would have kept the same risk. So this is definitely a lesson that I've learned in 2024, and I'm looking to implement it in 2025 and capitalize on it. And another lesson is to be disciplined in the gym. In 2024, I was lacking in the gym. I wasn't able to be consistent. Only now, towards the end of the year, I found my consistency. And going into 2025, this will definitely be something I will be very strict about. And now in terms of 2025, I do not have some specific goals. And this goes back to what I mentioned earlier. In 2025, I want to see growth. I want to see a continuation of this progress, because if I see that, that for me is a great year. It's a successful year. If I see progress on every single plan, on my trading, on my personal life, in my trading community, if I see growth on each and every single one of these aspects, then it was a great year. And that is basically my goal for 2025, as well as scaling up in terms of funding. I just mentioned Sabio Trade. In 2025, my goal is to reach their max allocation, to basically have a big funding that I will be able to trade. And That's definitely a goal I have in 2025, basically a 7-figure funding. And lastly, I want to wish you guys a beautiful New Year's Eve. And in 2025, if you want to work with me one-on-one and apply for my mentoring program, you should click the first link down below. And on that note, I want to wish you all the best once again, and take care.